So my conclusion about Dexter New Blood, it was a fun ride, but actually at the same time it was a huge cash grab. So I'm gonna put Dexter where it belongs. It it gives life to it gave life to the worst seasons for Dexter, right? So let's let me whoever gonna watch it, whatever. Dexter was only in Iron Lake for 2 years. This is the official wiki. It said Iron Lake is a fictional location in Showtime's special event series Dexter New Blood. It's a small town in upstate New York where Dexter has lived for 2 years under Jim Lindsay. So they didn't make it clear that he was only in Iron Lake for 2 years. They didn't make it clear that every time Dexter felt the need to kill someone, he probably moved. And then he started over. Remember, he was in Oregon uh the season 8 finale. So they didn't fill that in. Um for somebody who watched Dexter a lot, from the perspective of the writers, but there was poor execution, Dexter was just a lonely dude. Dexter was tired of not having nowhere to go. And he was tired of not having someone that he cared about. Now, the ending one when he said, I now know what it's like to feel love. That was a stupid line. It should have been saying he should have said, now I know what it's like to sacrifice and give my life for another person. Or something else. Because he gave his life up for Deb. He would have gave his life up for Deb in a container when he tried to set up LaGuerta. He wanted her to shoot him. Dexter, Matt, like, people have to understand how masterful Dexter really is. Even to the very end. His son wanted him to go to jail. He didn't want to do that. He saw the only option way out was his death. So he manipulated his son into taking his life because he knew his son was either going to be messed up or his son was going to end up like Lumen. People have to remember, people don't like. See, this is what happens when a lot of people left the show at season 5. And season 5, 6, 7, and 8. And everybody just watched the 4 seasons. And then they didn't remember. So they didn't like this they didn't like this ending. I try to put the pieces together from all the past seasons and all the things that he said. He helped Lumen after he failed Rita. He was a true vigilante in season 5. The whole season was about him getting justice for a girl he saved. Season 6 was about him trying to install some type of code or religion or something else that was outside of his world. Season 7, it was about him finding real love, Deborah knowing who he really was, and about a mixture of things. Season 7 was real sloppy, but it was real good because of the Dexter and Deb stuff. Season 8 brought in Dr. Vogel, and the damage that Dexter did to Deb. Dexter wanted to leave Miami because he felt like he didn't fit there. And he wanted to go with the woman that he loved and go with Harrison because that's the only people that makes him feel alive. That make him feel normal. All of Dexter's show was him trying to feel normal. One thing that people don't understand is that Harry taught Dexter the code, but Harry didn't have enough. I don't know how to put it. Harry underestimated Dexter's ability to find someone or to master to get to the highest level of the code. The code was you got the biggest, you find the best cover possible and you fit in and you do your thing. Dexter got married in season 4. He became the master of the code. But he failed because he let the two worlds collide. Dexter was right about him not wanting to, him being better off by himself. But the one thing about him being by himself after Miami is the fact is he missed having people around. This is why the biggest downfall of Dexter was his ability of wanting to, not admitting that he wanted to be around people. If he would have stayed by himself without having so-called Angela in his life and being this town guy and, oh yeah, guys, ha ha ha, yeah, everybody, I'm so cool, he probably would have survived because he survived for 10 years. So he survived for 10 years. He went off the rails. He stayed in this town for 2 years. Got some new cover. And then his son came along. At the same time he went off the rails. Dexter entirely wasn't supposed to be in one place too long. He went 10 years because he was traveling all over the United States. And when people got too familiar with him, he left. But he forgot that. So his downfall was imminent. Angela, his son, and staying in a place that only had a little bit of people was his downfall. I will always point to the fact that Harrison killing Dexter was Dexter's plan to escape prison. Because most, and they said it, I think, somewhere, most serial killers don't get caught and most of them die. Either by their own hands or by some other ways. A lot of them don't get caught. But everybody wanted this fairy tale thing of him getting caught and doing justice, and I think it's the times, because back in the day, you know, them want him be in jail. It's like, no, it's not gonna work out because there's tons of people who escaped being caught. If the justice system failed Miami and let all these creep people do what they do and Dexter had to finish them, what do you think Dexter, why would you think Dexter want to be in the justice system and people glowing the fact that they caught him? Dexter had a big ego. And he masterfully manipulated his son to take his life. Just like how Walter White tried to get Jesse to take his life because he was dying. But Jesse declined. And Walter bled out in a lab. Just like how Jax was not going to get caught because he was already a dead man walking. He killed his own mom because she killed his wife. He took out the Irish. He took out August Marks. He caused a whole big war. And even his whole own club marked him for death. And he wanted to take himself out before he let anybody else take him out. So, I don't mind the ending. I already know how rushed it was. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at Dexter New Blood as a way of making it the seasons that I didn't like 10 times better and trying my best to understand. So when I do get the New Blood, when I rewatch New Blood, I'm going to try to watch all the seasons of Dexter. I'm going to try to watch New Blood with some new eyes from all the past seasons, because you can't watch New Blood after like 8 years of not watching Dexter. You got to be firmly in it, and you got to see what they were saying. And I can say right now, I know it's rushed. I know the endings suck. But at the same time, I would rather have Dexter die at the hands of his son than be in jail, being gloated around by a small town chief who couldn't even solve a 25-year-old case. That's the better ending, because you could tell when they cared about this. You could tell in each episode when they cared about this show and when they didn't care about this show. And this show also was an experiment to see if they was going to do a spinoff on Harrison. The fans don't want it. So what they did do, they cash grabbed it, spent a little bit of time building up Dexter and his relationship, and then they say, oh, out their ass and said, oh, if it doesn't work, we still can kill Dexter, and Dexter, we don't have to go back to this character, and they would have to live with this. Everybody should have just left the ending the way it was. Because 9 times out of 10, especially Hollywood and TV shows now, they don't have good writers. And even the writers that are respected by the fans, they fall victim to greed. The gaming community learned this from Rockstar, Ubisoft, and every other company that turned against the fans from the movie industry that are putting SJW stuff in their stuff, and it constantly people are so fed up. They're going over to overseas and watching Japanese K-pop and all types of other stuff overseas than staying over here watching this stuff because it's so bad here. It was naive to think that the writer wasn't going to fall for the same stuff. And y'all trust Michael C. Hall way too much too, because he got his money and he bounced. He signed off on the ending as it being cathartic or metaphoric or whatever he was trying to say. Bring the son back, build the son up, spend all the season on his son and pull the trigger on Dexter and then say, see guys, if you watch Dexter for a long time, you would know that now his son is so happy. His son is happy now that he got rid of his father and he got rid of his dark pasture. Now he get to live a normal life. Sure. The whole thing don't make sense. Why did he search out his stepsister or stepbrother? He searched out his father? Also, of how he found his dad, it was so convoluted to the point where it's like, I found you on Instagram. Seriously? Now, I could understand if Dexter was, because they didn't tell you this. Dexter traveled all over the United States. So he probably did things. He did in Miami. And that's what gave away who he was. For his son to come after him. But they didn't put that in there. They were too lazy to put that in there. It's you have to fill in the blanks for this show. It's pretty sad that you have to fill in the blank. You have to fill in the blanks for shows because they didn't want to write the show right. It's sad, but fans pissed and moan, and you got a half-ass show, and you got a ruined storyline that a lot of you are not happy with. I'm glad that I ended a lot of anime, and I seen video games, and I see other media, and I'm not too attached to Dexter. It ended back then, and I had entirely fun with the show. The only way for me to fully understand this is rewatching New Blood after watching all the other ones. Also, as you see, Showtime got a real boost in numbers. They got the best numbers they ever had in years. With New Blood, Dexter. And this is the reason why also they're bringing back Ray Donovan for the final arc of Ray Donovan. Now, let me talk about that as well. Ray Donovan should have ended earlier, and it should have changed location earlier. I watched the show throughout the whole seasons. I love some pick of storylines they had, but one of the things that made me mad about that whole thing was the fact is they didn't utilize the son, and they overutilized his daughter. They put his daughter in so many different type of scenarios, but they didn't do nothing with the son. Also, the best season of all of Ray Donovan was season 1. When he knew his father was coming out of jail, that he put his dad in jail, that was one of the best plot lines of the entire Ray Donovan. After that, it was just going through the motions. It never hit that high note. It always hit formula. I never rooted for Ray Donovan. But when I knew about his past, and I knew what his dad did to him, that's when I liked the show even better than I liked the other seasons. The fixer contract, him being a fixer, that was just a bonus. I really hope they didn't mess up this Ray Donovan movie. I hope they finish it off in the little time they got, and I hope Mickey dies, and Ray probably take himself out to stop the cycle, because he tried to do that in season, I forgot which season. He jumped off the building into the ocean. And that was completely a storyline after he tried to tell his daughter that he did it. And she was surprised and everything. Because she was ready to distance herself from him. Which was it was a good bonding moment between them. But like I said, Showtime is playing this, trying to recurrent all the stuff that they fixed. They only had 2 shows that people really cared about. And that was Dexter. Nobody gonna care about Dexter no more. You killed them off. And nobody cares about Harrison. So the best you can do, Showtime, is do a Dexter aftermath. Shoot some seeds and have Angel and Angela and all these other people come together and talk about Dexter. All the old characters coming back for like 3 or 4 episodes or whatever. Show us what Harrison did. Don't make him a focus of it. The aftermath of it. Time skip, whatever you got to do. What Angela, what she did or whatever. And the old characters and see what they are. The aftermath of all that stuff. Other than that, we don't need Michael C. Hall. We just need you to finish it off like you're supposed to. You need to finish off. You need to make the, like, it needs to be a plot line of what Dexter was doing for all them 10 years. Tracking his movements and making sense of New Blood. That's how you get your fans back. And then maybe you could put a Harrison movie in. That's the smart move. To make New Blood matter and make this finale matter. But I know nobody listens, but I know that. But yeah, that's the New Blood. To me, got exposed for what it was. It was a cash grab. It was a way for Michael C. Hall to run away with as much money as he possibly can have. I don't think he ran low on money. But everybody got a big payout. Even actors that we don't even know about, that's been in Hollywood for a long time, but they're not in a lot of good projects. They got a big payout for this. And like I said before, it causes me to rewatch Dexter now. Trigger me to rewatch Dexter, but it also triggered me to watch other seasons that did it 10 times better. Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad, and Boardwalk Empire. So New Blood really did accomplish something new. It made me want to watch better television that I watched previously and shows that I previously think are in higher regards. That's all it did. It did a good job. Because now we have, right now, Attack on Titan is back on. It got good on Demon Slayer now with the fights. This Ray Donovan movie, and after that it's gonna be Dying Light. Dying Light 2 will come out. So Dexter did a great thing to kick off the new year. I see that it did what it did. I never really thought that New Blood was going to be I had a feeling that New Blood wasn't going to be something great. I always had this kind of internal feeling that New Blood was. I mean, certain shows and certain things that I see when they come back on don't really be great. That's why I also have a feeling that the Mayans MC isn't good yet. That's why I didn't watch it yet. So, yeah, they rushed this project. They want you to be smart enough to think and look at all the inconsistency. Oh yeah, Clyde Phillips pretty much don't know what he wrote because he said that Dexter on the official page of Showtime when he was talking about it, he said that Dexter and his son was there for a year after he told him about him being a serial killer and killing other killers. After they killed Kurt Caldwell, he taught him about the code for a year. Huh? He taught him the code for a year? So it showed that whole interview with him saying that pretty much showed you that he didn't care about what he was doing. When he said that he had a year, it was lazily put together. He convinced his son was a whiny brat who wanted to get back at his dad. Now, he might be on the loose, but at least he's not Dexter's problem no more. Dexter's not holding to anybody no more because he's gone. Nobody can hold stuff over his head. And that's the good part about Dexter New Blood. No one can blame Dexter. No one can bring up his past. No one can bring up he the Bay Harbor Butcher, his whiny son. If he does something crazy, he won't be able to blame his dad. Dad, you abandoned me 10 years ago. Because if he hurt somebody, well, you had a chance. You had a chance to get taught by your dad. But instead you broke his heart. And basically he was like, okay, I need you to end my life. I don't need to be here no more. You're the only person that I have in my life. I don't have anybody else. I'm lonely. And they should have put that to Dexter. They should have pointed that. They should have made that point. The whole New Blood. That this Dexter is more human than he was before. But he's empty inside. More empty than he was before, and he misses Miami. He misses having a family. He misses having people around him. They didn't even make the dialogue for that. So I have to fill in when I'm watching it again. So yeah, man. I'm pretty much done. It's a shame what they did to the fans. This is why you don't ask for... You gotta know who you asking. You gotta know who you asking to revive something. Because not everything's gonna end up like Spider-Man.